Black Rapid versus CarrySpeed. Fight. Hey everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. Welcome to Keep Shooting Monday number 39. This has been an interesting week, very interesting week in fact. A lot of things been going on, not a lot of news, but I thought I would do a little segment that I've been thinking about for a while. Actually wanted to give this a decent amount of time in using both of these products. I've had my Black Rapid longer, and then the CarrySpeed about a year or so. But anyway, I've been comparing the two to see which one I like versus don't like, or the problems or issues with each one. And I have to say I'm still using both of them, but I'll go into more depth of that here in a few minutes, and comparing the CarrySpeed versus the Black Rapid RS7. By the way, I use the RS7 since I'm a bigger guy. All of the smaller straps, I forget the name of them, they don't fit. They don't fit big guys. It's just the way it is. So you have to go with the RS7 in order to make it fit, and then get the Burt extension, I think is the name of it. We'll look it up here in a bit. So a couple cool photos that I found around the web this week. This is so cool. Any animal that touches the lethal lake turns to stone. By the way, these photos were not taken with, where they stopped in this position. They were actually found along the beach and then posed, but it's still awesome. This is such a cool, creepy set of photographs, but it's just so awesome. The only thing that I don't like about it is that they use the same spot. You could tell that this is the same island or whatever in the background. I wish they would have varied that a little bit. You got the same one there, the same one there. Other than that, I think it's such an awesome set of photographs. Something new, something different. I love the black and white. I think the editing, the timing is right. It's a good time of day. Everything about it, I think, is really good. The only tiny, tiny little nitpick I see is that island back there that's reused multiple times. There, it's gone and it's changed, so that's good. But what a cool set of photos. Perfect timing for October here in the U.S. is Halloween. I'm not sure how many of you guys outside of the United States actually, I don't want to say celebrate Halloween. I guess, I don't know if it's celebrate or honor or whatever. Halloween, take your kids out and get candy and all that stuff. I wonder if that's just an American thing, or people outside of the United States do that too. Never thought about that. Anyway, cool set of photos. Love the setup. Love the idea. Love the fact that he posed them. Not just found them along the road or, along the beach and photographed them there. So, yeah. Big, huge props. Cool idea. And excellent execution. You should be very happy with these photos. I think they're really cool. By Nick Brandt. Nick Brandt. Good stuff. Good stuff. PhotoPlus Expo. I will be there. It's coming up in like 2 weeks. The 30th anniversary, as you see here. 23rd to the 26th. I'm probably going to be there on the 24th. Sorry, the 25th. The 25th, which is the Friday. I don't think I'll be there Saturday. There's a chance I might go up on Thursday, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. Probably just going to be there all day on Friday, the 25th. So if you do happen to come up, I just might have a few giveaways for you to give away. If you want to have lunch, you want to talk photography, send me a tweet. We'll meet up and connect that way, and we'll talk photos or wander around together, or whatever you want to do. I think that'd be cool. So meet me at the PhotoPlus Expo in New York City in a couple of weeks. So I was in Wawa today getting coffee. I don't know. People outside of the Northeast don't know what Wawa is. Wawa is like a 7-Eleven convenience store place, but they actually have decent food. It's like a step up from a Sheetz. They have good coffee. And anyway, I'm in there getting coffee at a bagel this morning, and I'm wearing my shirt, and the guy at the counter says to me, "Well, I have this old film. Where do I get it processed?" And I'm like, "Wow, I never even really thought about that." And so we're talking for a second, and I said, "Well, try your local drugstore, although the quality isn't that great, and then do a quick Google search." And so these are the ones that are coming up. The one that I have had the best luck with and I've worked with a lot in the past is MPix, which is a division of Miller's Professional Imaging, and so they do excellent work. I know they do good work, so I would definitely check them out. Mail it in. I'm sure they'll get it back to you pretty quick, and they're going to be a decent quality, better than any of these other ones that are going to be listed here. Obviously, these results here are showing up for Philadelphia because that's where I'm at, outside of Philly, and so yeah. Anyway, check them out, and but MPix, which I think is United States only, but check your area if you do need to get your film processed. Good article that I found here this week, posted on DP Review, but I hate these freaking gallery views. They drive me up the wall. Why can't you just let me scroll instead of making me click through all these things and then scroll down to read it? I hate these gallery views. I don't know why sites do it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, they have a couple things listed here. Everybody's going to have a bag anyway. I don't know why that's there. Mini tripod. Yes and no. I guess I could see it. I don't know that I would be carrying it around all the time. Remote release. Yes, I do carry that around all the time. I have that. Cloth for the lens. Yep, always have that. I definitely do not carry my air blower, my Rocket Air around all the time. That stays in one of my bigger bags. I think that's kind of a waste of space. It's not heavy, but it definitely takes up a little bit of space. I definitely wouldn't carry it all the time. Doesn't everybody carry their smartphone around? I think that's pretty obvious. Spare battery, you would think that would be obvious, but maybe not. I always have at least 2 batteries with me, and of course my extra media cards. I guess. Now my rain poncho, again, I don't carry that with me all the time, but I do always have it in my truck with me. So I carry one that goes over my camera and my 70-200 lens and a flash, and so I do have that with me all the time, but it's not on my person. I'm not going to put it in my camera bag all the time. Business cards, yes. I always have a stack of business cards with me, no matter what. Even if I don't have my flash, I have business cards. An extra flash, yes. I think everyone should invest in an external flash. Circular polarizer, that can be a good idea to have that. Although, the only problem with that is you have multiple lenses, you got to have multiple filters, and they're also expensive if you want decent ones. You could also buy a step-down ring if you want to buy a big one, and then step it down to a smaller lens. That might be a way to save you a little bit of money. Yeah. Decent list. Not great. Decent list. So, I'm looking through... Shoot, that ruined that. Oh, well. I'm looking... saw this on Petapixel today, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Another reality show, just what we don't need. Thought there were plenty of reality shows out there already. Well, apparently the Brits think that we need another one, so they are bringing another reality show to us for photographers. Could be interesting. Might be fun. Might not be fun. Might be terrible. You really never know if it's going to be good or bad until, 3 or 4 or 5 episodes in. Anyway, they're calling it working title Back to Front. It's kind of an odd title. I don't know that... That's a weird title. I don't know what that refers to as far as photography is concerned. But then I see their ad, and it just pisses me off that once again we have a big ad for something photography-based, and they're not holding the friggin' camera right. That really bothers me. I don't understand where these people think that they're going to get... How they're going to get photographers to watch if in their ad they're already doing something wrong. Just bothers me. Just do it right. Don't set it up and do it wrong. God, there was another one that I saw a while back for New York Institute of Photography where the hot chick was holding the camera the wrong way in that one too. Well, you're trying to sell classes to a photographer, but yet the person that's showing you in the ad that you're marketing the ad with is already doing something wrong. So why would you ever want to go after and buy that series? Makes no sense to me. Anyway, it's the same with the Black Rapid strap. This past weekend, yesterday, I was at the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial down in Emmitsburg, Maryland, and there were photographers everywhere. Number one thing is that why don't photographers, especially ones that have more than one camera, have a Black Rapid or have some kind of a Sling strap at all? I don't know. I don't know if they're living in a cave. I don't know if they don't believe in them. But I know that they would make their lives a lot easier if they were using them. At one point, I was having neck and back problems because I was carrying the camera around my neck all the time. I stopped carrying it around my neck, and I started only carrying it in my hand. And then I started getting tennis elbow in this elbow. And then after a while, I said, I ended up getting introduced to the Black Rapid, and it's been great ever since. But people still don't wear it right, okay? The R or the logo, the CarrySpeed, whichever one, the logo goes in the front. That logo goes on your left shoulder in the front, and then it slings around to your right side. That allows you to grab the camera properly and bring it up, because you're primarily holding it with your right hand. I see people with it backwards. I see people with it flipped the wrong way, with the logo the wrong way. I see it. I guess you could do the logo the wrong way, but as I'm about to talk about, it does not make it easy to use with another piece of the puzzle I'm going to talk about with the CarrySpeed, so it makes it more difficult to use. I see them just hanging around the neck this way, just in the middle, you know what I mean? Instead of being over a sling. It's amazing how many different and wrong ways people can use one of these straps. And so, if you're going to buy a product and spend this kind of money on a product, why wouldn't you use it the right way? I don't get it. Why wouldn't you spend the 3 minutes to watch the video and do it right and make your life easier? I just don't understand. I really don't understand. So, anyway, that's my rant there. So, let's talk a little bit about the two of these straps and the good things and the bad things about these. Black Rapid RS7 versus the CarrySpeed. This one is the CS Pro Mark II. I noticed that there's a newer version of this. I think it's called the FS Pro. I don't know what the differences are, but this is the CS Pro. The first thing I'll talk about is the CarrySpeeds. I'll start there. I actually got a CarrySpeed, an earlier version of it, which was very similar to the RS7 about 2 years ago, and I actually ended up pawning it off on someone else because I thought it was a little bit cheaply made and I didn't like it. One of the big things that bothered me, and this is actually a strap from that, I think. In fact, I know it is. Was the webbing. And I don't know if you can see this, but the webbing is very rough. I'm sure it's a fine webbing. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's very rough. And since it's a rough webbing, the slider wouldn't slide up and down nicely at all. And it kept getting caught like that, and it wouldn't slide up real nice. Whereas the Black Rapid and actually the newer CarrySpeed one has a much smoother webbing, and so the slide part would actually slide up and down very nicely, no issues, and it was fine. So that was the issue that I had with the early CarrySpeed. The newer CarrySpeed, they have two different versions. This is the CS Pro. They also have a Slim, and so the Slim has this pad part a little bit smaller. As far as I know, there is no other difference in between the two of those. They both still use the same plate and a lot of the same ideas, but it's pretty neat that you have two different options there. So, features of this one. Obviously, in order to use it right, we're putting it from right to left over our shoulder, and then we have the logo in the front, and it's right on top of our shoulder. It's not hanging to the front. It's not hanging way to the back. It is right there on the shoulder, over the top, in order to get the maximum benefit from it. Now, we have this here, which is a little slider. What that slider does is it comes down and actually locks the camera to your body and shortens that strap temporarily. That's a nice feature. I don't use it, but it is a nice feature. Another thing that's cool about this is they have locking clips. So in order to unlock this, you actually have to pop that little, push this little thing in, and then that's the only way to get it to unlock. Whereas the Black Rapid just has an old school one, just a single, and you actually have to buy these little Velcro thingies in order to lock them together, which is what I ended up doing. This is their version. I'm not going to tear this all apart, but trust me, these are not locking. I actually saw, I'll show you this. Where is it? Right here. There it is. Someone actually used a wire tie to go around that, and I think that's a good idea. They took two wire ties and went around that and actually locked it together that way. I think that's a really cool idea, just as another fail-safe, because realistically, somebody walks up behind you and pops that, your camera's on the ground. So, good idea there, I think. Let me make my picture a little bigger here, make it a little easier. Okay, so we have this little slider thing that makes it tighter and brings it close to your body, keeps it from swinging away, which I think is good and bad. The big difference besides that is the plate and the mounting style. Now, here's one of my cameras, and so the plate is on the bottom. You actually just use a coin to tighten it, and I just happen to have a quarter here to tighten it onto the bottom, which is nice. You don't have to have a tool in order to do that. And then you take it and you slide this little ball inside of the lock, and then you screw the lock tight, and then there's a little ring right there, a little O-ring, little rubber band kind of a deal that you slide up that keeps that from backing out even farther, which is nice. And so it's thought out well. Now, this is an Arca Swiss style plate, so you can attach this to any Arca Swiss style cameras right off the bat without a problem. So that's nice and thought out. You can obviously attach it in multiple places there. They got 6 different holes that you can use, so that works out well. The other nice thing about this one is you can attach it in different ways. So, like, I have it right here on the front. If you wanted to, you basically need to find a way that's most comfortable for you to use it. Some people, you know what? Maybe I should look and see how they say to do it. Yeah, they show it in the front they show it in the front of the camera on the opposite side of the grip. So, I guess I should take this off first. Probably make my life easier. So it is rather easy to take off, although it does take a couple of seconds to take off if you needed to. So they show it. There. Nope. How the heck? Okay. Yeah, I had it right. So that's how they show it. Just like that. And then you have a 90-degree angle there. You can choose whether to have it like that or like that when it's hanging. Seems to be pretty secure. I do like that idea, and sometimes instead of having to attach that separate plate or get the other adapter from Black Rapid for the Arca Swiss style plate, which you can get, and I should have grabbed it. Darn. Oh well. It's already built into there, and again, you can still attach another plate underneath there if you really needed to, and still use it. So that's one of the big advantages of that one. Now, the problem comes is that sometimes this is a little bulky, okay? And even with my big paws, it can get a little bulky on the bottom when I'm shooting with the other lens. So when I'm shooting with a 70-200, which I don't have here with me, I have to have this big, huge plate up underneath the bottom of that lens, which gets in the way, because I like to have this plate underneath the bottom of the 70-200 lens so that I don't have any future issues with the lens mount on the body pulling away, because I shoot with that lens so much, if you're allowing that to pull away, you could have issues. I prefer to have it so that it's hanging on the lens, which is the heavier part, and then the body's attached to the lens, and there's no weight issues. So that's what I don't like. I don't like that you gotta have this big bulky plate there where I'm shooting with the 70-200, and I don't think that there was another way to do that. Let me bust open this box just in case, to be sure that there wasn't a smaller plate or a smaller something. Of course it's not. So here's a different plate again. That one's got a little bit different shape plate. Okay. So it's a little bit different. Comes with a slim. I seem to remember that there was a smaller adapter for that thing, and I don't know what I did with it. Must be in one of my camera bags or something, but I seem to remember that I have this tiny little adapter, and it's just this part, okay? It's just that part right there that I could have put, that I'm just thinking of right this second, that I could have put on the bottom of that lens. So but that's still the one issue, is the big huge plate. So that it's good and bad. Good on the bottom of the lens, bad on the good on the bottom of the body, bad on the bottom of the lens. So I'll get off that point. Next thing is this huge bulky thing gets in my way. I already don't like the fact that I have this much in my way when I'm shooting vertical, but adding another couple of inches, okay, say the two of these, okay, adding all of this dangling all the way down here, that means when I'm shooting vertical, the camera slides up to here, and then I have all of this that I need to pick up and deal with and hang underneath the camera. Whereas if I use this one, it slides all the way up to here, and then I only have to deal with this little bit here coming up and kind of dangling next to the camera. And so I wish that there was an option to get rid of this, but from what I can tell, there's no configuration that allows me to do that. Maybe with this extra extension, now that I look at it, I might be able to get rid of that thing, because actually I have the Fat Boy extension on this one too. They sent me this extra extension thing so that it would fit, because obviously the regular one does not fit. I'm too big. It doesn't go over my shoulders and around to the side like it's supposed to. It hangs too high, up underneath around my stomach area instead of down around my waist where it should. So maybe if I reconfigured this thing and took this extension right here and moved it to right here, that might work better. I'd have to play with that now that I'm looking at it, see if that's going to work or not. Let's take a quick look. That's a clip. That's a clip. So it looks like it might work. No, it's not going to work because of this. Because of this thing. Because of where this thing slides. That's not going to work. So I'm still going to have a bunch of stuff in the way. So I'm not going to put it back together right now. So the Black Rapid, of course I drop it. The Black Rapid I carry most of the time in my primary camera bag, and I've actually kind of bastardized it a little bit, because this little deal right here, this piece and that, actually came with the original CarrySpeed that I had. And what you do with this is you take this and you clip it on your belt loop. And what I do, I have this here. And as you can see, I put it in front of, I'm dropping everything here. I put it in front of the back clip. So this is the back clip that keeps the camera from swinging back to your, behind you, okay, and stopping at the bottom. And then this is just on here, and then when the camera slides down, it locks that and it grabs it. And this is just a kind of a bastard kind of a system, but it works fine. And then this keeps the whole thing from swinging forward. This little keeper strap. And these kind of keeper straps are used all the time with radio straps and that kind of thing. And it works really good. And I really like it. It works just fine. I don't have any problems with it. It swings down less. And then all I have to do is just slide this down in order to lock that in position, and then this keeper that's around the belt that I can then adjust with that guy right there is going to keep it from swinging, and it works. It's a good little system. Sometimes simpler is better, and I think this might be one of those times where simpler is better. You know, the two straps are good. I was looking at the pricing here. The CarrySpeed FS Pro is $79.99, and up there it is. And then the RS7 is $58.95. So they're both well-made straps. I think they're both really good. The big difference, I would say, is, you know, all that extra bulk there in the front, and then the different plate. So make your own decision there how you want to do it. The RS7 works well for the fat boys like me, and so does the CarrySpeed, but you need to get an adjustment from the CarrySpeed people in order to make it. They do sell the actual, I think they call it a Burt extension, which is too long, to be totally honest. Should be a little bit shorter or something. I mean, I have it like bunched up in here to make it work. But both good straps. I think they both work fine. Most of the time I stick with the Black Rapid because it's not quite as bulky and you don't have that extra stuff there. But I still do use the CarrySpeed. So pick the one that you like and stick with it. I think they're both excellent products, and I use them both. So thank you very much, both guys. By the way, I didn't talk about this. Black Rapid has this little thing right here that attaches to the camera, the bottom of the camera, and then versus the bigger plate that they have. So the plate is nice because it allows the camera to sit normally, but this little guy is easier to screw in. You don't have to finger tighten it, and you know, that's it. I have like 5 of these things just so that in case I lose one, I don't have to go out and get another one. But yeah, so whatever your choice is, whatever one works better for you, pick that one up, use it, and use it right. Use it right. I think that's important. Alrighty. Oops. I didn't realize I wasn't on there. RS7, $58.95. That was on the wrong screen. And then the CarrySpeed FS Pro, $79.99. I will put links, by the way, to all this stuff inside of the description on YouTube or inside of the article on the website. And while you're on there, if you haven't already, make sure you've signed up for the email newsletter. A couple photos that I wanted to talk about today. This one I shot this morning during one of my photo classes. And I was thinking about this morning and talking to a couple of the students. And basically what one of the things that I said to them, or one of the students, was, hey, I know you're not going to learn, or you're not going to retain everything that I say or everything that I talk about, but if you can remember one thing, if you can apply one thing from each class or from each video, whatever it is, you're going to get better. And to be totally honest, she said to me, well, I'm trying to balance shooting versus watching videos, and I don't have time. And I said, well, personally, I'd rather see you out there shooting, because you're going to learn more that way than you will from a video. So watch a video when you can and get something from it, and then apply that, remember it, and apply it. And the other thing that I said this morning was, look, you're going to learn more from the mistakes that you're making while you're out shooting and doing stuff than you ever will by just sitting in front of a video or reading a book or anything like that. So get out there and shoot, trial and error. Do your best to learn the basics from a video like mine, and then move on and do something with it. Don't just sit there and watch videos all the time and not apply it. Get out and shoot and do something with it. That's also why we have the photo assignment, so that you guys are actually going out and doing something with it. So, cool photo I shot this morning of Macy. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate that. This one was posted over to the Flickr photo group, Cazillo's photo group, and a little bit heavy-handed on the clarity slider. Way too much. Way too much. Pretty photo. Hand placement is a little off. I don't like the curve of her wrist right there. I try to always get a nice curve to the wrist, a nice feminine curve, whereas you have this big, huge lump right there, and it just looks weird, like she might be deformed or something. I'm sure she's not, but it looks that way, and you don't want it to look that way. The other thing is, you're a little close crop here on this hand. If you would have if you take this and you would frame it, you're going to end up framing and cutting off a little bit of the edge of that, and that's not good. So leave a little extra space on that right side, which in another photo was actually, I wasn't going to show it, but in another photo, you see that it's actually fine. You guys have some really good competition for the upcoming photo assignment, where you get a free t-shirt. You could win a free t-shirt, I should say, as well as some stickers and a free print. So I hope that this one by Luis has been entered into the contest. It's a really good one. It's got a lot of really good stuff going for it. The only thing that I would do with this is I would consider cropping this a little bit thinner. I think a little crop on the bottom here would make this a little bit more interesting right along in here. Keep your eyes moving left to right a little bit better, whereas this extra space down here is just wasted in my mind. So I would consider cropping that, and make sure you post it over to the forum, otherwise your photo is not eligible. So let's get into some questions here, photography questions. Got a couple of comments, and then I will get out of here. We've been on for too long today. Okay, so you lose your Canon IX-US-IS. A little bit overexposed. Bring down your exposure on this image. It needs it. Last week I posted I reposted the video. YouTube does the recording of these videos when I'm doing them live, and then I take that and I repost it. Last week, instead of keeping the same one and cropping it, I ended up doing a new version of the file of the recording and then reposted it onto the website. But I had a couple people ask me, well, where is it blocked? What's going on? Comment. Let me know what you think of that. Did it show up in your feed? Is it not showing up in your feed? I know most people are not notified of this from the emails. But, tell me, does it show up in your YouTube feed? let me know how that goes, either on the forum or send me a tweet, something like that. Let me know what's going on. And I probably will do the opposite today. Probably just keep that same URL just in case. But yeah, that was the issue. Although it's very possible that I might not post this till tomorrow. It's already 4:45 here, so I don't know how late I'm going to work today. Might not get this up and onto the website until tomorrow. And okay, so let's get into some questions. Let's see. I'm reading about lots of U.S. newspapers letting their photographers go. What do you feel long-term impact is of that? Crappier photographs. It's as simple as that. It's a sad state of affairs, but it's gonna keep happening. People think that they're gonna get decent photos from iPhones, and just by teaching an iPhone class. Oh, I just remembered I have another thing I wanted to talk about. Oops. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. But yeah, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna help us. But then again, you could also say that this has been slowly happening for 30 years or 20 years. Back in the early 90s, when they were laying off staff photographers from, big companies here in the United States, like, Sears and Macy's and all that kind of thing. So, it's just another step towards the kind of the culling of the herd and getting rid of the high-end jobs and making everyone go freelance. And we're kind of only doing it to ourselves because we have so many photographers out there, and I hate to say it, but the camera manufacturers are helping this by putting out, low-end cameras that shoot quality photos, and then pushing, the way they're marketing, and, anybody that can hang out their sign that say they're a professional photographer with, a $500 camera and a crappy lens, it's just the way it is. We're only doing it to ourselves, and nothing we can do about it. It's just going to keep happening. Let's see. Do you think it would be a good option, or would it be fine to use my 5200 with my 18-300? Well, personally, I probably wouldn't use an 18-300 at all. Any lens with is that like a 10 or a 12x zoom? That's a lot. Holy crap. 18-300. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. 300 divided by 18. That didn't work. Divided by 18. Once more. I can't type. 16 times zoom. Any lens with a 16 times zoom is going to be a piece of junk. It's not going to be a very good quality. So I probably would not be using that lens at all, personally. Could a flash with a SB700 be useful? Yes. I always recommend that your first flash be a Nikon or a Canon or whatever the camera manufacturer is. But consider getting a different lens and upgrading that lens, because one big, great lens like that, it may seem like it's going to be awesome, but you end up with blurry edges, and just the quality overall isn't good. Is the 5200 and 18-300 good for macro? I doubt it, because I doubt that's a macro lens. Let's see. Shivers from seeing these photos. I don't know what that is. Wawa coffee. So Nicholas orders Wawa coffee into California. That's awesome. Question: But using my D5000 with Nikon 50-1.8, could you please tell me why part is blurred out? I'm taking a shot of a baby on their mom's lap, and half the mom was blurred. Maybe because you had a shallow depth of field. That'd be my first question. I don't have any recommendation on an IPS monitor. Sorry, on a brand. I would just go with a decent one, a high-end brand, something over $500, $700. Check out some reviews online, see what you can find. For the most part, no matter what you buy, you're gonna still have more data in the raw file than you ever will be able to display on the monitor. So just keep that in mind. All right. Last thing I was going to talk about today was this guy where I actually screwed myself the other day. I put a sticker on it, by the way. I went to use this tripod for the first time. This is one I actually bought from Antonelli Institute. It still has the tag on it. Anyway, I went to use it, and I hadn't even used it yet. I hadn't touched it at anything. I took it to a photo shoot. Didn't even think about it. So I took it to a photo shoot, and I said, you know what, this would be a good time to play with it. And I was actually doing an interior set of photos. The issue was that the plate was moving around a lot. And I can't even show you what it was doing. It was like moving around that much. Okay? And so I started looking at it, and I'm like, I can adjust that right there, that little cam, and that'll lock it in and make it tighter and keep it from moving. Great. Okay. So I use my trusty Gerber diesel multi-tool, which I always carry with me. It's always on my side. I always have this thing with me. And it actually comes with this little set of bits, and this bit right here actually fits in this hole right there, and I ended up taking it apart, putting it back together, and it worked fine. Although I realized that when I put it back together, I didn't put the spring back in right, so I do need to take it apart again. But goes to show, this is one more thing you should add to your camera bag or to your person or put in your vehicle that you should always have with you. You really never know when something like this will get you out of a jam. I have been carrying one of these since I got my first one of these. I think it was a gift for like my 18th birthday from my friend Jason. And it was actually one of the first production run ones from Gerber, and I love it. It's a great tool. I have a good pair of pliers and knives and screwdrivers and stuff like that on it, and you know, all these extra stuff, and bottle opener, and you know, file and all kinds of stuff, and of course the little extra bits and stuff that's there. I actually wore out the case. I had to get another case from Gerber. They sent me another one on warranty, which is cool. But yeah, a very important tool, great tool to have, to always carry with you. It's worth the extra little bit of weight to always have it with you, whether it's in a camera bag or a purse, or like I said, in your vehicle or in a backpack. If you always carry a backpack, just have it with you so that you don't have any problems and you can fix stuff. All right. So, the other lesson there is make sure you test the equipment that you buy before you take it out, whether it's new or not. Test it, try it out, make sure that there's no problems, and then go out on the shoot with it instead of having to fix it in the field or get caught with your pants down and not even have a tripod at all because the one that you had isn't working. So, yeah. Obviously, that was an issue that I should have known better, basically. Should have known better. What did you want to say about an iPhone photo class? Give me a break. Okay. I think that's it, guys. Pretty good show today. See you next week. Greg Cazillo. Cazillo.com. Keep shooting. See ya.